was born ready.
And Warren, my friend, it's a huge honor to have you on the show. Just listened to new records, and I listened to it a couple of times since the first listening. It's great. I love it. So it's an honor for me. And for people that don't recognize you, who the hell are you, man?
The hell I am is Gooch. I play guitar and make some guttural sounds with my mouth and throat and diaphragm for you, Vandal.
That's cool. That project, I mean, I love originality. That's what I'm looking for now. I listen to so many artists, and I love artists that try new routes, try new stuff, and try to, bring something to the scene that never been done. And I really felt that when I was listening to the records. A band that, are doing it for the right reason with the passions and the fire and the intensity of doing something different. And that's what I love. And those songs are so well written and well produced. How was the process of recording that records? And maybe for people that never heard that project, how you guys started up?
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, obviously, you Vandal started very long ago, around like the 2008 2009 time frame. Alex and Eric are respectively bass player and a guitarist, singer. They've been the constants the entire time, and I was kind of always a satellite. But as of about 2018, me and Scott have been in the band, and we not long before the entire world decided that we had to take a pause. We were beginning to work on this record, and yeah, not many people were very favorative of it. But hopefully people will like this record more than they like the pandemic. We'll see about it.
Oh, that I'm sure of. It's 100% yes.
Set the bar low, and you can't be disappointed. I mean, it's great for me getting to work on this record and record on it, because those guys have been some of my best friends for so darn long. Probably now that I think of it, more than a third of my life. And so when they asked me to come back into the band, it was great. And I was like, this is great. But the last time I tried writing songs with you guys, I got my hand broken. So nonetheless, we were all apprehensive, and we'd been demoing songs probably not long into our current drummer Scott joining, and we debuted one song in February of 2020 at a concert at the Hardback, which if you're familiar with Fest, the Hardback's a little bit further out from downtown.
Yeah,
We played that concert. People seem to have. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
I love them.
It's such a cool spot. The guy that I've always talked to there that runs the bar, super cool guy. But we played this song. We were like, yes, we're gonna start playing new music. And then obviously concerts had to stop for about a year or so. And so at that point, we just kept demoing our songs. Most of them were written, but this record was written almost as a studio record. We had skeletons, but we never played these songs in a room together. It was usually Alex, Eric, and Scott, or me and Eric, or me and Alex and Eric. Scott just wanted nothing to do with me during the writing process. He was like, I'll see you when you can show me you can play guitar. But nonetheless, we were going to do it as 4 songs, 3 separate EPs. And because of the delays that we had, we said, just all 12 songs together. And we've been so fortunate that Jumpstart Records wanted to continue working with us. They had put out our previous record. They've been awesome to work with. Such supportive folks over there. And so they said, yep, this record sounds fun. We got some Thin Lizzy riffs on it. Let's see what we can do.
That's so great because, after all the year of being a band, I'm always surprised when a band arrive with their masterpiece. And that's how I felt with the records. The records that you really want to do when you're a kid and you start up playing music, but you realize it's really tough to achieve and it takes time. But I think with all the experience and the chemistry behind you guys, that's what happened. And I'm sure because of the COVID, things went more faster for the release because you were being doing shows. And so in a way, maybe you were more focused on just doing the records and release it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd hate to use the term silver lining, during a worldwide pandemic, but I mean, I do agree with you that we were able to put a lot of energy into this. I mean, if I remember correctly, it was a lot of fun, a lot of stress. Sometimes you worry you've hit creative bedrock when you're recording, but luckily we were able to. Wednesday, quiet down. Sorry about that.
Hello, Wednesday.
She's saying hello over there. I mean, it was. I mean, this record. It was. We were not certain how the final product came out. We all knew we had like visions for it, but we were just thinking, we really hope this is good. We're gonna see.
So yeah, it's a stress in a way because when you work so hard, it's tough to be sure of the result because you kind of lost yourself in the process of writing, where yeah, it was a good idea at first, but it's still a good idea. I don't know how people's gonna react, but the thing is, with the pandemic, people got way more time to listen to music, and I think that was the whole problem before. We don't have that much time, so it's tough to discover everything around. So for a lot of bands, it's not that they're not good, it's just the timing. But I think you got the perfect timing where people were more aware of you and wasn't expecting anything and got surprised with the record. Like me, I'm 100% proof of a guy that never heard of you guys, listened to the records, got a blast, wonder who the hell those guys are. I should have known them before. And I think it's all because of that.
I mean, hey, like I said again, better late than never. And again, thanks for saying all those kind things about the record. I mean, I've been a fan of this band, as long as I've been friends with these guys. Yeah, I was as much of a satellite member as you could be for all this time. And the first time we tried writing all together, we were coming up with some good ideas, but nothing was really clicking yet to where we said, "Yep, we have a song." And then it's like I said earlier, my hand got broken, and I was no longer a member of this band because I really wasn't very much help without having a hand at that time.
You didn't try with the foot or try to.
I think the guys were just like, this isn't working, but we want to let him down easy. Let's pay someone to kick him in the hand, and this should, we'll get back with him when he has it more under control here.
But I think that destiny is destiny. When you're born to do something with people, it happened, and I think that was just again the timing wasn't right. But it's not your fault, and it was not because there was problem inside the band and they kicked you out. It's just that we love you, but without and it's gonna be really maybe a problem to hear.
Look, your cast is kind of in the way. You're just, your winning personality just isn't enough to help write songs right now. Just not going to work. I mean, and honestly, if anything, it's a lot of ideas we had for this were like rejected ideas or ideas that we had given up on and walked away from, and they stayed in the attic with cobwebs, dust, and what have you throw upon them. And then we eventually scattered off the old magazines and said, "Oh, would you look at this? A song here." And so for a lot of these older ideas to be able to come full circle and turn into what I think are, some pretty strong songs. It's like you say, there is redemption in store.
Yeah, I think so. And we're at some really cool point of music. Before the pandemic, every scene around US, Canada, and in Europe, it's going pretty well. Punk rock is still healthy, and it was back in the 90s without the money and everything. A lot of people got kids, they got their 40s, now they got time, kids grow up, so they came back to the scene. So it was really cool. And then the pandemic arrived, like you said, and it took everybody by surprise, and it was really rough for everyone. So everybody won from that point now on, have a good time, and that's it. So I think it's gonna be crazy.
It's what I'm hoping is that with everything being improved with this virus, it's that I remember a long time ago. I think it was Chris Cresswell from the Flatliners. I remember he was doing a podcast for a certain amount of time. It's like represent Canada. And I remember him saying, that it gets harder and harder to get people to come out of shows. I think he used the exact terms, people don't want to be entertained anymore. And
Yeah.
I remember seeing and being like, that's exactly what it is. Because you'll go out to a local punk rock show and you might only have 3 people out. Your friends might say, oh, sorry, my shoes came off and I'm in sweatpants. I'm just not going to make it. It's not what we all wanted, but now we're at this point where we realize, oh, I kind of missed doing all this stuff, and so here's hoping that everyone continues that. Goodness knows that down in Gainesville, I mean, Tony running the fest, it was a godsend having that kickoff this year at October, or well, last year October. It was just it was the darn time of my life because went a whole year without it. It was so nice to have it again.
You're right. You're right. And the first point, Trish is a good friends. I know the Flatliners since day one, and we went to those shows when there was like 4 people in Montreal, drive 3 hours. I remember we went at a really big storm hit Quebec, and we drove like the 3 hours in the storm and got at the show. And when we opened the door, there was Scott from the Flatliners, and he said, "Guys, what the hell are you doing? If no one showed up, it's storm. We drove from Quebec to see you guys."
Oh, that's so cool.
And you're right. And you're right. I think that people were taking for granted the scene, and they wanted the big name. And I don't go to see like and logo band and everything. But now with the pandemic, like you said, people realize when we lost something. Unfortunately, human realize the impact it had on their life. And music is therapy. Shows are therapy. So we got a lot of people got really depressed for not seeing band live, even if it was just 1 or 3 times a year. So yeah, for that. And Gainesville is a really for me, it's a lot of questions because I never felt that there was always a huge punk rock scene there, but there are always crazy festival with all those bands going in Gainesville. But I always felt that there was a really small scene there in the punk world. In the metal world, it's really it's more happening. I think maybe I'm totally wrong in a way. I'm from Quebec, what I know.
No, I mean it's weird. Like I've gone to concerts in Gainesville where we have no one out. Whether it's our concerts, someone else's concerts. I've seen bands that I know are national touring acts, and even then sometimes they may not draw there. But I mean, there really is something special about Gainesville. I gotta say, it's I don't know if it can't be our water. We live in Florida. Florida's the worst like water you can drink out of a tap. But maybe it's in the beer. There's a magic to it. I mean, I am happiest when I'm walking around downtown in Gainesville. Oh, there goes the dog and cat. Um, it's I mean, in the fact that just people from all over the world want to congregate to that place, usually around Halloween weekend, while all the college kids are out of town going to see the football game in Jacksonville. It is, it's another time because it's just a bunch of like-minded people all walking from club to club, outdoor show to outdoor show, and everybody's just locking arms, singing along, whatever you want to do, mosh, come out of mosh retirement, immediately go back into mosh retirement because you're getting too old for this. There's a lot of fun to have there. And of one of the most important things to me in Gainesville is just all the places to go are so cool. I mean, so many of these restaurants out there and venues, they're owned by people that are from that local music scene. I mean, it's it is a rarity that I'm in town and I'm not going to stop by like Boca Fiesta, or I'm not going to stop by Lucy's or any of these places. It's Gainesville. I believe no one will ever talk about Nashville in Gainesville, maybe in the same sentence in terms of who comes out there. But give it time. I mean, goodness knows, in the punk community like Gainesville, we got Less Than Jake, Hot Water Music, the I mean, goodness, Against Me coming out of there. It's just huge darn names. And honestly, there's so many. You talk about this, we had nothing for so long. There are so many new bands that are starting up that are all, putting out such good releases these days out of not just Gainesville, but Tampa and all over Florida. There really is like almost like a little resurgence for these local acts and all of them finding something new creatively, and that I'm incredibly stoked on to put in my headphones or my car stereo right now.
That's cool. You're right. You're right. And I think that it's never the biggest scene because it's always kind of explodes and implodes after that because when it people got bored and everything and it changed to and like New York or San Francisco, for example, or California, they're way the punk scene is different now and everything. But I think that outside that, that's where you find the people that were still doing it, like pushing the scene and going to show and encourage band. And that passion creates something really strong. And it's never a band that make the scene explode. It's always, everybody that worked around the scene and the band involved in that scene that make it level up.
No, I agree with that. I mean, goodness knows I grew up idolizing South, California punk bands. I mean, goodness, listening to Lagwagon, Strung Out, all Pulley, all of those guys, and just wishing I was in these bands that were riffing and licking guitar all over the place, fast paced drums, and just, everybody looking like they're having a good time, and thinking, it'd be nice if Florida could have this. And sure enough, whenever those bands would visit in Florida, I would be so happy. It was, everything to see those bands whenever they would come into town. But luckily, I get to see a lot of bands like that now that are coming to Fest.
That guys, helping you out because we want here in Quebec. Our best way to help you out.
Oh, best way helping us out. Sorry, it cut out a little smidgen on my end. Um, I mean, you were asking like what helping us out, just telling people about us or whichever, correct? Sorry, it's got to be the darn internet here. My dog and cat fighting or something like that. Um, I mean, goodness knows I think we've been in Montreal.
It might be.
Ah, curses internet. Where am I?
No worries about that. That way, I'm going to edit the interview. And thank you so much, seriously. Of course, we invite people to go listen to the records. It's everywhere. And if you cannot buy it or anything from their Bandcamp, just fucking learn the song and sing them loud.
Thank you so much, Eric. Yep, Pretend I Don't Exist on the internet, on Bandcamp, on Spotify, for sale through Jumpstart Records. Uh, Thanks so much for having me on here and letting me talk about some stuff for a little bit here. It's so kind of you.
Thank you. And we're going to do that again. I'm going to write to Mike so we can do another interview later this year. There's so much to talk about. And thank you so much, seriously, for your time. And hell yeah!
Hell yeah. No, thank you so much. Looking real forward to it. Can't wait to talk to you again, Eric.
See you. We gotta wait for you in Quebec.
Take care. We hope to see y'all soon.
Cheers.
Take care.